Dear brothers and sisters in Christ, today, I wish to share with you an event that took place during the Eurovision Song Contest, which has caused a great deal of commotion and concern due to a dark and ominous message that seems to have been conveyed. For those who are not familiar with it, Eurovision is one of the largest and most followed music competitions in the world, with millions of viewers tuning in every year to see artists from all over Europe perform their songs. This festival, which celebrates cultural diversity and creativity, is a significant opportunity for participants and a moment of unity for many Europeans. However, something deeply disturbing has particularly struck the sensibilities of many. A performance by an artist seemed to have evoked a satanic ritual, or indeed, for some, it was considered a true satanic rite. What actually happened? And why should we be concerned about the show that aired live on television? The Irish artist Bambi Thug presented a performance that many interpreted as a nod to Satanism. Bambi Thug, a non-binary artist, chose to present themselves with a look and style that break with traditional conventions. Wearing outfits reminiscent of esoteric ceremonies, surrounded by lit candles, and using references that can be considered dark, the artist put on a show that elicited strong and conflicting reactions. Some viewers accused the artist of promoting satanic symbols and themes, a criticism that Bambi Thug has rejected, claiming that it was an artistic representation with no malicious intent. Bambi Thug's performance included elements that many found unsettling: heavy makeup, choreographic movements that mimicked rituals, and the use of phrases and symbols that seemed to pay tribute to Satanism. In particular, during the performance, the artist uttered the phrase Avada Kedavra, known as a deadly curse in the Harry Potter books, which further fueled the controversy. During the performance, the artist performed within a 5-pointed star, hinting at satanic symbols. For some, this choice was seen as a deliberate provocation, a way to attract attention through scandal. But are we really sure that this is the case? And even if it were, why should we be sufficiently concerned? This episode prompts reflection on a broader issue. Why today, to put on a show, is there a need to bring satanic symbols on stage? In an era where conformity seems to reign supreme, some believe they can break it by creating scandal and sending disturbing messages. Our society seems increasingly attracted to sensationalism and provocation, often at the expense of deeper and more meaningful values. The Eurovision case is not an isolated one. Much of rock music history is dotted with more or less explicit satanic messages. The most emblematic case is that of Marilyn Manson, who, in addition to satanic references in his lyrics and album covers, has repeatedly burned or torn pages of the Bible during his performances. Some say that we should not focus on this scandalous aesthetic, but rather delve deeper into the messages of these artists. But if we truly want to be scandalous, isn't the message of Christ the real scandalous message? The message of Christ is a call to spiritual rebellion, a harsh critique of today's consumerist and materialistic world. Jesus invites us to live a life of love, compassion, and sacrifice, values that are radically opposed to those often promoted by the media and popular culture. Yet the media seems to give more prominence to those who deliver dubious, disturbing messages that hint at evil. The real scandal, dear brothers and sisters, does not lie in dark symbols or provocative performances, but in the challenge of living according to the teachings of Christ in a world that often rejects them. The message of Christ is one of hope, redemption, and unconditional love, a call to overcome hatred and division to embrace a life of virtue and spirituality. In a world afflicted by wars, injustices, oppression, and materialism, this is the real message that creates scandal today, the true revolution that can transform our lives and our society. We might also have the right to ask ourselves whether this display of unsettling symbols that evoke evil is merely coincidental or not. Why does this satanic aesthetic fascinate the media so much? Why is it necessary to spread among young people, and not only such an unsettling worldview and symbols? Why use the symbols of evil and not of good? Don't we already have enough evil in the world? Why do we need to celebrate it on live television? We might also have the right to ask ourselves whether this display of unsettling symbols that evoke evil is merely coincidental or not. Why does this satanic aesthetic fascinate the media so much? Why is it necessary to spread among young people, and not only such an unsettling worldview and symbols? Why use the symbols of evil and not of good? Don't we already have enough evil in the world? Why do we need to celebrate it on live television? Satanic references seem to convey the message that evil is stronger than good, that we should despise everything sacred and divine, and that to be happy, we must transgress all moral laws, suggesting that human life has no value and can be wasted and trivialized. These messages resonate more because we already live in a world where a person's value is often measured by their material success and popularity. Jesus teaches the exact opposite, that true wealth is found in love and service to others, in the pursuit of justice and peace. As Christians, we are called to live according to these principles, to be lights in a world that is often dark and confused. Provocation and scandal may attract attention, but it is only through love and compassion that we can truly change the world. I invite all of us to reflect on these truths and renew our commitment to the message of Christ. In a world that seems to celebrate darkness, we are called to be bearers of light, to live lives that testify to the beauty and power of God's love. May God give us all the strength to live according to His teachings, carrying forward the message of hope and redemption that is at the heart of our faith. Let us continue to pray for a world where the light of Christ shines ever brighter, overcoming all darkness. I conclude by asking you to think deeply about these words. In a world where the media highlights those who deliver dubious and disturbing messages, let us remember that the true message of rebellion and change is that of Christ. Let us embrace and spread this message of love, compassion, and redemption, and do our part to make the world a better place for everyone. Dear brothers and sisters, our questions arise from reflecting on the world. Help us find the answers and write them in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos, and to become part of the community of faith and prayer. May God bless us all.